Okay, today, right now we're just going to work on getting him to neck rein and guide. And I got him in a snaffle bit for right now. We may put him in a curb bit later. So what I'm going to do is just start, well, first I'll start just walking him around. And I'll lay that outside rein and that outside leg and see if he's responsive to that. And just walk him in some small circles and turn him. And if it feels pretty good, which it does, so I'm going to go ahead and jog. And try to keep my hands right in the middle as much as possible. So when I move him to steer him, I lay that outside rein, that outside leg, and I'm looking for any resistance, which I feel very little resistance right there, so that's good. To the right, a little bit more resistance, but better than yesterday. If I feel too much resistance, then I'll go ahead and turn him, make him get off that outside rein and outside leg, and go right back into a jog. Steer. That feels better. To the left, he feels really good. He's like he's hunting that circle, that really small circle right there. To the right, that's better. Using a little more direct rein, so he's not really getting off that right rein as much as I'd like. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn him a couple of times, right back into a jog. Do it again. If I feel him really getting off that rein and that leg, then I'll go ahead and move him out into a jog. Check it, just steer, nice and easy, steer. Okay, I think I helped it. Something to work on. I'm going to turn him to the left. Push him up into a jog. That was way better than even yesterday or the day before, so I really feel like he's improving in that left side turn. I'm not going to sit there and just drill on him today on that turn. I'm going to come in here, turn him. Couple of two or three times, back into that jog. One more time to the left. That feels really a lot better to the left. His step is better, the cadence is better, feels more even. Check the steering again. Good, good, good. I feel like that helped him steer to the right, so all of it kind of is connected. Okay, now we're going to work on steering at the lope. So if I feel resistance, I'm going to steer him the opposite way And then if he's bad enough, I'll break him down to a trot or a walk and maybe even turn him a time or two and then send him back. So I want to keep him relaxed in that lope and see how he does. Right there, he wanted to drop in. So I just picked him up. Staying between my reins pretty good right here. So I'm just going to pick him up and steer him to the inside. And I'm just going to let him break down to a trot. And then we'll check that left side and see where we are going to the left. Now yesterday he was a lot more stiff feeling to the left, particularly in the lope. So we'll see what that does. Much better lead departure to the right. Probably maybe one of the best lead departures so far that I've done with this horse. And he's not leaning on me too bad right here. Staying between my reins better. More relaxed. So I'm going to pick him up over here and I'm going to steer him. Better. Okay, so I'm going to let him break down to a trot or a walk. That was really good. Based on the amount of time I've had this horse, I feel really good about that right there. So, may check and see if I can do that left lead departure a little smoother. Usually if I pick at it too much, it just gets worse. So I'm just going to go one-handed. Steer. Steer. Got a little pushy there just at the end of that. So I'm going to go ahead and steer him, get him off that rein, off that leg. I'm going to try it one-handed to the right. Make sure I get that lead departure set up a little bit. Not bad. Kind of hesitated there on me. One-handed. Steer. Could be better, but better than it was. Steer. Okay, started to push on me there. So I'll go ahead and go two hands. Steer. I'm going to break him down and get him off that leg. Off my hands. That's better than just wrestling with him. Break him down to a jog. And steer and see if that resistance is still there at the jog, which I did feel it a little bit. So I'd rather work on it at the jog than fight with him about it at the canter or the lope. There. Whoa. All right. So I think now what we're going to do is we're going to put that other bit on him and we'll see how that does. So, okay, now we're in this other bit, curb bit. Got a leather curb strap on, no spurs, working on neck rein. Try to keep this hand right here. And by neck rein, I don't mean way over here, although I may do it sometimes if I have to, but I'm really trying to concentrate on steering him with just this right here, maybe 2 or 3 inches on each side of his mane, right in front of this saddle horn and this swell. And I'll do lots of jogging. Mainly I'll do jogging with him when I'm working on this, okay? So that's basically all I'm working on when I put this new bit on, is I want him working off that neck rein, this outside rein, and I support that with this outside leg. Okay, sometimes I'll take 2 hands and I'll keep them close together and get my reaction there with the outside leg, but I keep my hands, try to keep my hands right here in front of the saddle horn and right here above his mane. And then I'll go back to one hand and check that out and see how it's doing. So see how now I moved it out of the box right there, see? Okay, but he's not there yet. I'm still transitioning him. So sometimes I'm gonna have to go out of this box to make that move. But my goal is, and that's what's important, is to keep in mind, I want to be able to steer him right here and moving my hand about this much, okay, right here. So I'm gonna jog and work on that. He's staring right there. To the left, I feel like he's waiting on that direct rein, that inside rein to come and bump his nose. So he's still figuring this out, still learning, so I may have to bump that nose a little bit right there. Make that little move. Go ahead and use 2 hands if I have to. To the left, I feel like right now I'm having to use 2 hands part of the time, right there. And if he's just not getting off that, I'll go ahead and use my leg, bump him, completely turn him around. And go back and check it. Or I might just go the other way and leave that left side alone for a minute and just concentrate on this right side to see if it's any better, which it is. I can just move this a little bit. I'm using my fingers, and I probably should try not to do that any more than necessary. I'm using my fingers to get that nose, and I should just be able to move my hand straight over a couple inches and him steer. Now I'm having to use my leg a little more than I would like. I'd like to do it primarily all by itself with the reins. I'm gonna go back this other way and see, I left him alone and he's better to the left now. That's better. So now I'm gonna change directions right there. That felt pretty good. He caught that direction change, that shift with those reins, and he did okay for his stage. Now I might just bump him up into a canter just to check it out and see how that's going. He's still jumping up into it just a hair, but he's getting better. Use 2 hands if I need to. Drop him down when I can. That was a little better right there. I'm gonna check him on this left side. Try to get my reins situated before I even start so I'm not having to adjust them all the time. He wanted to jump forward and go a little faster, so I'll just steer him to the inside. Till I feel like I can go back to one hand and just guide him around there with one hand. He's leaning, so I'll go ahead and steer him there. He's wanting to speed up again. He's leaning. There, he came through that better. So I'll go ahead and reward him for that. And then I might walk around while he's catching his breath. And just move my hand over a little bit. And if he's not getting off that, I might bump him in that shoulder to remind him. And turn him once, ride him forward. Move my hand over to the left. If he's not moving like I want, I'll make him move. So he's wanting to tip that nose to the outside and suck back right there. So it just tells me where he is. He's progressing. He's not quite ready to just drop your hand down and guide him with that one hand. I see right there, he made that move to the right. Like as soon as I move my hand, I feel him moving to the right. If I just move that a little bit, just pick up on that hand, he's moving and stepping to the right. To the left, I move my hand, he doesn't do it. I got to remind him. Then I drop my hand down. Move my hand over, drop it down. Move my hand over. There, he made that move. So he was anticipating, which is good. He knew it was coming, so he moved. So then I'll reward him for it. But what I want is to him to just do it every time. See, there he didn't do it. I had to make him move. He didn't do it. Make him move. He's not doing it. Make him move. Bump him off. Drop him down. Pick him up. See if he'll move. Two hands. It's going to take two hands on him. And I'll just keep doing this off and on. There. He moved off that rein laying against his neck, but I still had to kind of support him with this left rein. There, I feel like he's getting the idea, so I'm not just going to drill him and drill him and drill him on it. Okay, so I felt like I should go ahead and show this. I worked on him for a few minutes, just on moving his shoulders with that neck rein. And so now I just start him and drop my hand down and let him move. I don't know if you can see that, Whoa. That's him turning all by himself. So I took my leg off after I started. I was clucking to him. Other than that, I put my hand down and I just let him turn. That's what I want. Even if I have to start him with a little bit bigger move. Whoa. He's not quite there 100% to the right. To the left, feeling really good about it. So what I'm feeling for is when I move my hand against that rein against his neck, I want to feel him move that way. If it's this rein, I move it. I want to feel him move laterally, okay? If I do this opposite rein, I want to feel him move laterally, not back up. Oh. So if I help him turn to the right, he's stepping way better. He just hasn't figured out to go all by on his own yet. Whereas to the left, I feel like he's really starting to figure that out. And that's a big step right there. Yeah, he just hasn't figured out to the right. And see, his right was his best way turning. To the left, he hadn't been stepping correctly. And so now I can just start him to the left, take my leg off, put my hand down, and I might have to bump him occasionally, but I'm not doing much. And he's just turning. Had to bump him right there. But he's stepping and turning, keeping himself in position and moving on his own power. I don't want to have to do anything when I start him in that spin. I might keep a leg lightly on the outside, but when I start him, all I want to have to do is let him start, and if I need to cluck to speed him up, and just let him turn, and that helps me try to sit as still as I can and let that horse balance. In the beginning stages, two hands, I have to help him, show him, nope, this is where I want you. That's where I want you, right there. There, see, took two good steps without me moving him over physically.